Hey guys, Pretzelman945 here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing the first in a series of videos, um, which are going to be Minecraft related. Um, because there's a lot of Minecraft tier lists I can make that I want to make, and so I will make it. Um, so yeah, um, I did kind of a quick glance over. Should have done this with a few. Okay, okay, that was wrong. Okay. We're good, we're good, we're good. Okay. so yeah, we're gonna be ranking Minecraft updates as the first one. Um, so, this isn't including like all the different beta versions because I don't really think that counts as necessarily an update before it was like the official release of the game necessarily. Some people might, but like I don't necessarily. And at the very least, it's not on this tier list, which has them all very nicely numbered and colored. So, we're going up based off this one here. Um, so I mean, 1.0, like this was a huge update. This was the official release of Minecraft. It added a ton of the mechanics that we know today. It added the entirety of the end. It added like breeding. It added enchanting. It was absolutely insane update, and so I am going to put it in S tier. I think that that is a very safe. 1.1 also added a lot of things. Let's see. This one added spawn eggs, super flats. It was a pretty solid update. I would probably put it into B tier, I'd say. Um, and 1.2. This one was pretty big one. It added a lot of different like block types that we know today. Um so I'm gonna put that one also in B tier. 1.3. Let's see this one here. So we have trading adventure mode, which isn't really used any much anymore, I feel like. We have new structures, emeralds, book and quills, written book, all that. Ender chest, enchanting, moving, like splitting the creative inventory, which is interesting. I'm gonna put that in A because it was a pretty chunky update, to be honest. And then we have 1.4. Now, 1.4, from this point, I actually do know what all the updates are. um, 1.4 was called the Pretty Scary Update, and it added a ton of mobs that we know today, such as the Wither skeletons, zombie villagers, witches, ton of things like that. Um, and for that reason, and kind of the whole, it was kind of the first really like themed update. So I think that definitely earns some points. I want to put an A tier. Now, update 1.5 is the Redstone update. Now, this is going to be very different. If you're talking to a particular person, this would probably easily be S tier. Which, and if you would put in S tier, I completely understand that. Me personally, I am not a redstone guy at all. I have made some like funky contraptions in some worlds and such. And it's very fun to kind of play around with. However, I'm not a redstone guy, but I can't not acknowledge the ridiculous impact that this update had on Minecraft. So I have to put it in at least A tier. Um, I'm only not putting it in S tier um the um because of the fact that I am just not really a Redstone guy. So 1.6, this was the version of Minecraft where I started playing, which for me would have been back in 2013. Um, so pretty long time, but not nearly as long as a lot of other people, um, who had, had the game for much longer. 1.6 added a lot of new block. I'm gonna say it's a B tier update. Now 1.7 was a big deal because it changed world generation for the first time. It was the first update that changed world generation. And I think it's a big deal. I'm gonna put it in A tier as well. Another big update, 1.8. 1.8 like changed around the hunger system and added sprinting. It added ocean monuments as well. Definitely a good amount of blocks as well, I think. So pretty big update there. I would say that's a pretty good one. Okay, now we come to what should not be, but it is like the most controversial update of all time. Um, if you complained about the combat changes, grow the fuck up. That's my take on it. And this is coming from someone that has not really played much Java Minecraft, so all the versions of Minecraft I've played don't even really have the co- they all have spammy combat. But like, I'm sorry, but like, if you are just one of those whiny bitches who complains about the changes made to the combat system, then I think that you're kind of pathetic. um, because like, even though I don't have much experience with it myself, I do think it is a cool update. Um, and and the features of the combat I do like. And plus, what in my opinion is a big positive is the fact that we finally got some expansion on the end in that this episode not episode this update was the one that added horse fruits and end cities and the elytra, for example. So for all those reasons, I'm gonna give it another A tier. I know I've been stacking a lot of A tier updates and not that many S tiers. I might move another one of them up to S tier. We'll see. But there are several updates coming along that I think are S tier updates. So um, just be patient in terms of those. 1.10, I did some block and mobs, but I don't think it was anything crazy. I'm gonna put that as the first C tier. And then 1.11 did the same thing, but it was bigger in that it added woodland mansions. Um, and all those mobs, along with Totem of Undying. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. Okay, World of Color. This was a very mix matchy update. It was like it definitely added a lot of colors as the name would suggest. It also added carrots. I I honestly I need to Minecraft edition. So let's see. Oh, did not mean to open that in a new tab. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So, oh yeah, colored beds as well. Interesting. Okay. Oh, and this was the one that added concrete. Okay. It actually had a lot of blocks. But nothing else besides that. So I'm gonna put it in B tier as well. Okay. Now we're really getting to the heavy hitters here. I did mention there were going to be other updates that get it into S tier, and I'm immediately throwing 1.13 and 1.14 up into S tier because um 1.13 completely revamped the oceans. It made them completely different. It made swimming as a mechanic incredibly fun. I really like shipwrecks as a structure. I like the way that like the water column thing works. I like the addition of buried treasure. I just think everything in this update was really cool. The one thing that brings this update down is um and I'll share more of my opinions on this when we get to when I make the mob tier list, but I fucking hate drowns. I think they suck as a mob, but like that one quibble is like not enough to remove it from S tier because there is so much good stuff that came out of 1.13. Now, 1.14, the reason I'm putting it at the top is because it is my favorite Minecraft update of all time. Um, and like, people might say that 1.0 is the best because the fact is release version. I wouldn't argue with that. It is an S tier update for a goddamn reason. Um, now, the thing, like, just the villages. The way that it completely just changed everything with how this works, and in my opinion, made not villages, my favorite structure in Minecraft. And the thing that completely changes the course of an enjoyable survival world for me is whether or not I find a village at this point. Um, And yeah, I just it's honestly insane how much was actually updated in this update. Um and yeah, just there isn't as much I can say. I just feel like the impact of it is already very well known, but it is my favorite update. I also really like the whole like the addition of pillagers and the idea of the raids. I have done one in survival before, and it is a very fun mechanic, so to speak. Okay, 1.15. I'm not gonna put it in D tier. I don't I was really thinking about it, but like if 1.10 is going in C tier, then 1.15 I think will go in C tier as well. Because These are nice. You know, they're not a useless mob, and there was the stuff with the honey blocks that was added as well. And, you know, it was mostly a bug fixing update, which, you know, sometimes those are kind of necessary. It just definitely was not as major or had as much oomph as basically any other update. But I don't think that that warrants putting it in D tier. In fact, to be honest, I don't think any updates are going in D tier. To be honest, um, because I don't think there has been a single update that hasn't contributed any sort of value at all. Um, but continuing the hot streak that was sort of interrupted by 1.15, the Nether update, I'm also putting that in S tier because, like, it literally completely revamped the Nether. Um, and all the new additions such as piglins and bastions and all the new nether biomes, I just think it's so cool. Um I think it just makes the nether such an interesting uh place now. So I am a huge, huge fan of it. Now 1.17 was Caves and Cliffs Part 1. And, you know, keeping with the theming of the other updates in C tier, it goes in C tier because it was just added blocks. Um, did it add some cool blocks? Definitely. But it was just cool. It was just blocks that were ultimately added. Now, 1.18. For a lot of people, this would be an easy S tier. Not me. I have a bit of a hot take when it comes to 1.18. I think it is a good update. Don't get me wrong. Now, I do want to start out by talking about the things that I really, really, really like about 1.18. I love the addition of blast furnaces and smokers. Blast furnaces, honest to goodness, are one of my favorite items in all of Minecraft ever since they were added because of the ridiculous convenience that it provides. Um, and I also I really, really love the expanded height limit. I think that that is such a big thing. I think it's such a big boon for creative mode, in my opinion. I really, really loved that addition as well. And um I really like the change up in generation with the mountains as well. I thought that was cool. I don't like powered snow, but goats are a cool mob and all. Now the thing I do like the different cave biomes, but I'm not really a fan of how the caves are generated. Because another thing, by the way, that I do absolutely love about this update is the addition of raw iron and raw gold. I think that that becoming its actual like material, I think that was a genius decision. But anyway, the main thing that I don't like about the cave generation is I feel like they are just too big. And I feel like it causes way too many mobs to spawn. And as a result, it may becoming it makes like exploring caves a lot more difficult to me. And I almost wish that like the old way that caves generated was still the same, but with these new biomes and all the other changes. Because I don't really like the new way the caves generate because it just feels way too big for me and it feels like caves are a lot harder and more scary to explore, and as a result, I often end up just strip mining and avoiding caves, which is not really what I want to do when I go mining. Um, So this might be controversial. I'm gonna put it in B tier because there are a lot of things that I really like about 1.18, as I mentioned, but I really dislike the new Wave generation, is what it comes down to. So I do think it is a good update, but I have my issues with it. Um, okay, 1.19. So 1.19 added a lot of things, but in my personal playing experience, it's a lot of things that don't really mean a lot to me. So, like, I don't really care that much about the Warden, but like the sculpt blocks are cool. I think the mud bricks are neat. I think the mangrove wood looks cool. Um, I think frogs are an interesting idea for a mob. But like ultimately what it comes down to is this is another update which I think for the most part kind of just adds cool blocks because um it just doesn't really have any um like major things to me that stand out, I guess. Now 1.20 I actually really enjoyed. Um, I'm only putting it in B tier though because it didn't really add that many massive features, but the blocks and kind of I love the addition of bamboo and I love the addition of cherry wood and stuff like that. And kind of all the little additions they added were just really nice to me, like mechanical like changes that I think had been kind of wanted by a lot of people for a long time, and I think it was like a bunch of little improvements, that kind of make the overall playing experience just a little bit more fun because of it. Like for example, one of these is like the fact that there is like a type of bookshelf now that you can make that you can actually put books into. Um, I think that's very cool. Okay, now 1.21. I'm gonna be completely honest. After 1.20, I kind of stopped following Minecraft updates pretty much at all. And to this day, kind of a crazy thing, honestly, now that I think about it. But like, not really now that I think about it. But like, I have never encountered a trial chamber in a survival world. I don't even really know what a full version of one looks like. But like, they seem like incredibly massive structures, and I've heard nothing but like insane praise for a bunch of this stuff in there. And I've seen the way the mace works, and I've kind of played around with it a bit. It seems like a very cool like weapon addition, and also like the same thing with the breeze stuff. So, based on what I've heard, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Um, and yeah, that's gonna do it for the updates tier list. Nice and concise little video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and more Minecraft tier lists to come. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.